Hey you, have you ever wanted to learn about insane Legacy Madness Combat Tucker tech? Well, do I have a video for you. Now, in my 50 or so, well 60 by now, days of playing this game, I have learned a lot of weirdo things that happens in the game. Mostly because, I don't know what Sep did, but it was clearly something wrong, because this game, I'm pretty sure, is strung together by hopes and dreams. And like, a used piece of gum or something, which is why there's a lot of weird stuff you can do. Some of them actually useful, some of them not so much. But it doesn't matter if they're useful or not, because I like them, and I'm going to talk about all of them in this video. Alright, so get ready. Now, for the main man, Tucker, he has a lot of weird things he can do. Like, for example, with all of his weapons. First things first, we have the pistol. Now, I'm not sure if this is stated in the tutorial, it probably is, but using the pistol's power shot, aka right clicking with the pistol, can break stances, which is something that's very important, especially later on in the game, because you can literally just not even break the stance of Aleph unless you use it, or unless you get really close. But why would you get close to Aleph when it's literally trying to kill you? Alright, moving on with the FAMAS, whatever the hell you call it. Weird thing about it is that you can actually break stances with it, because due to the way the game calculates stance breaking, if you aim at like an enemy's weak spot, if you don't know what weak spots are, then I would recommend you True Troll's video about it, but I can just tell you very quickly what a weak spot is. So basically, on every single enemy, there's a certain place where if you shoot, you can do more damage than usual. There's weak spots and there's very weak spots. Like, for example, in Ensh, you can shoot it like around his eye place, that's a weak spot. But if you shoot directly into his eye, that's a super weak spot, and it does even more damage. You can tell if you shot a weak spot because after you shot something, a little circle appears over it. If it's white, that means that you just shot him normally. If it's yellow, that means you shot a weak spot. And if there's a little funny red shine star thing, then that means that you hit a super weak spot. The more you know. Anyways, if it's pretty much useless, I mean, you can never really use that very much. English, yes, that is how English works. You'd most likely just, use the pistol or melee. But it's something very interesting that it can do. Moving on to the Swordsman's Blade, or S-Blade, as I like to call it, because it's easier and not a mouthful. Now, for some reason, the game doesn't tell you what the S-Blade does, but basically, you can just M1 to dash, which just makes you move. However, one important thing to note, it's really weird that the hitbox just moves around sometimes. Like, I could show you a bunch of clips where I use the Swordsman's Blade to dash around, and for some reason it clips enemies that are like very far away. I really do not understand the hitbox of this thing. And when clicking directly onto an enemy with the S-Blade, you can teleport to it, break his stance, and also do some AoE damage, which is neat, I guess. Really useful when you try to do like an execution or something, or a glory kill. Sorry, that's what they call it. That's what they call it. Now, let's talk about momentum. You see, an important part in the game, and especially in the speedrun community, made off of me and me. Damn, there's not a lot of people speedrunning this game. Anyways, what you need to know is that momentum is the most important thing in this game, especially considering the fact that in Legacy Madness Combat Tucker, you can just splat on the ground. If you fall too quickly, you can die. And that's where the S-Blade comes in. Now, the S-Blade is very important for changing or resetting momentum, because instead of using the momentum that you already had when, like, I don't know, falling, it just resets your momentum to where you were dashing, which is really important, especially if you get flinged by like an enemy. You can just reset your momentum and not die. It's that easy. Another important thing to note is that when using S-Blade to dash, you can just reset your wall run. Now, wall runs are just the weirdest thing imaginable. I mean, I know that in the original Madness Combat Tucker, it's still there, like, as a relic. Same with like the backflip. But the weird thing about it is that sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. I'm pretty sure it's also chained to momentum. Also, another weird thing about the S-Blade, you can clip through thin walls. Next up we have dashing, which is completely useless. Like, it serves zero purpose. I, myself, am a third-person enjoyer. I don't know about the rest of the people that play Madness Combat Tucker and consecutively Legacy Madness Combat Tucker in first person, but I just don't like first person very much. The thing about first person is that you can actually use dashes, because normally if you want to play a third person you gotta use shift lock, and using shift lock just doesn't let you use normal Tucker dashes, which I don't even think you need, because for some reason dashes just don't work normally. You need to do like ultra kill super mega ultra tech to dash normally, because you need to jump and then hit shift so you can actually get some momentum. Now dashes could probably be very helpful for something, but to be honest, I just can't be bothered to use it. I don't know, maybe I'll make like a sequel to this video talking about how dashes are revolutionary, rashes. Yeah, probably not. The second movement option in Tucker's arsenal is the slide, which is by far one of the most versatile things that this little clay person can do. Not only can it give you tons of momentum by just sliding across the floor endlessly, just like ultra kill, but also when sliding off of something, you can just boost yourself off of like a ledge. Now I don't think I have to tell you this, but looking down while sliding off of a ledge is very stupid, because you just go down instantly, and having downwards momentum literally kills you. So I don't even know why that's a thing, but I don't know, if you wanna just splat on the ground even though you fell like 2 centimeters down, you can do that, you weirdo. Now, this brand new tech that I've discovered recently is very interesting, because normally if you slide and then jump, you can do a backflip, which isn't really very useful. I mean, you can probably use it to like jump over a few ledges that you can't slide off of. But if you spam C and jump, you can do a super jump. Now, I don't know how this happens. It's probably some weird hitbox jank. But my theory is you slide and then jump and then slide off of yourself and then jump again to go super far. Another weird thing about slides is that some floors that are connected to walls can be slid off of, but only if they change in elevation. Oh, and also another thing, while sliding you can still aim and shoot. You got the melees. Now the melees are really good because you can break stances, you can heal, you can do damage. It's like the every weapon. But it also can do this weird thing when you descend on an enemy and align the hitboxes correctly, you can slam the enemy into the ground and do the little funny yellow shining things. You've probably seen it in one of my videos, but I don't understand how to do it properly. Originally I thought you could only do it with enemies like Lightless, but I guess not. I guess you can do it with every enemy, since after more experimenting I have discovered that you can do it with like Ench as well, which is weird. I don't know why, but I guess it's a thing.